and we are live.
All right, welcome to the Recreation Committee meeting. It's 5 p.m. Monday, October 5th. We are meeting virtually due to the COVID-19 pandemic, as we have been for many months now. Welcome, and we will call the meeting to order. Acknowledge the press and public have been duly notified in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. Next up is approval of the previous meeting's minutes. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, or are there any additions or changes? Okie dokie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Moving on. I don't believe we have any citizens' comments, and so we can go on to item 4, departmental report with our recreation director.
Okay. You all should have a report in front of you, but I'll hit some of the highlights. Our classes are going absolutely fantastic. Most of our classes are full. We have had to limit some of the numbers in these classes due to the COVID-19 and following the governor's and Accelerate South Carolina guidelines. Our gymnastics is full. Dog obedience started back Monday, September the 14th. Those classes are full. We started 2 new fitness classes. The cardio and core we have in the morning, but we started an evening class. We had a request for that. So we've started those classes as well as a full body sculpt. So those are 2 new evening classes that we began on September the 8th and the other one on the 14th. Our gymnastics is limited to 8 participants. It's full, and we'll start a new class in October. Line dancing is going well. We had a request for a beginner class. Our intermediate class was a little bit more advanced than some of our new participants were ready for. So we have a class at 8:30 for beginners and 9:30 for the intermediate classes. Our over 50 fitness class is full. Our Saturday yoga, we have 5 total, 3 come to the class and 2 are participating via Zoom. Tai Chi, the class have asked for a second class, so we're looking at the availability of rooms so we can add another class onto that. Our tennis lessons are full. We did have to stop for a little while for the adult class because of the virtual schooling, and our instructor had to do some schooling at home with her children, but that's going to resume, or did resume, September the 22nd. Our wood carvers are back on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. That's just a drop-in class where guys sit around and whittle. Our adult sports fall 3-on-3 basketball, 6v6 soccer, and our table tennis league are all going well. Our youth soccer has begun. If we don't have practices here at night, we have games. That all is going very well. Special events on September the 19th, we did have our yard sale. It was very successful. We entertained about half the number of vendors as usual, so that way we were able to spread them out a little bit more. Our teenagers start back this coming Wednesday. They will have a box lunch. We will put them in the gymnasium so we can separate them more and we can do the social distancing. We're looking forward to that, and they're all excited. We have 35 that said they'd be attending that. So we're really excited about welcoming them back to the rec center. Our Ghostly Tide Tales is scheduled for Friday, October the 23rd from 6 to 7. Typically, we have it at 25th Avenue. We have moved that to Front Beach to provide ample parking for those that want to participate. They'll be able to park in the municipal lot with no fee, because after 6 o'clock, I think there's no fee. Our Halloween Carnival golf cart costume parade, I'm so excited about that. The registration started today. We already have over 10 entries for that parade, so we're really excited. And as it was stated in the Public Safety Committee this morning, the registration form asks for the permit number, the owner's name, so that we can make sure that all the golf carts that participate in this have been registered and they do have liability insurance. The Employee Wellness Fair was held last week or a couple of weeks ago, and we only did the blood work and the flu shots for employees. And typically it's a community wellness fair, but because of COVID, we didn't group the two. So I'm working with Sea Island Medical Care and Delta Pharmacy, and we're going to have a free cholesterol screening and flu vaccine opportunity on Thursday, October the 22nd from 7:30 to 10:30. So you'll see some promotions on that quickly. We wanted to reach out to the community. I think it's real important, particularly this year, that people are given the opportunity to get those flu shots. And if we make it available here at the rec center, I hope that more people will jump on board and come get their flu shots for this, particularly for this year. Our
And
typical,
I'm sorry, on that, will you be trying to schedule them by appointment to some degree, or?
the flu shots, no, the cholesterol screening, yes, they will be given appointment times.
Okay.
And then we're going to do our typical holiday workshops, the craft workshop, of course, the cookie, Holiday Street Festival. We're still working on that, trying to pull that together. Moving to Dodgeball on December the 30th. Our students are out of school, so we always try to provide that when they are not in school. And then just our maintenance projects. And if you have any questions, I'll try to answer those for you.
Okay. Anybody have questions? No. I have a question about, let's see, the dodgeball. Is
Yes.
that indoor or outdoor? I'm thinking it's probably indoor by,
It's indoor, it's limited to 20.
okay.
So that meets within the guidelines that we have to stay within.
Okay, that's good. And let's see. Yeah, I think we'll need to really try to emphasize to people about the change in venue for where Ghostly Tide Tales will be, because so many, it's been forever at that location. So won't be surprising if people accidentally show up there. So we'll just have to make sure people get that.
We're going to purchase some additional signage. I think we put something out again today on social media, so we'll hit that regularly to try to let folks know that the location has been changed.
Location change.
There'll also be something coming out in the Island Eye news.
Super.
So we're trying to get out there as best we can.
And there are some other changes too. I mean, you're expanding a little bit with the crab pot players, right? So hopefully that'll get people's attention as well to know that there's some other changes. And so they might key in on the change of location too. Let's see, how is things going with just like, is the gym opened up or going to be opened up for just pickup games or open gym? Are you going to have open gym?
We haven't scheduled that yet. We're still limited to the 5 people per 1,000 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
So we would actually have to count. We would have to keep a record of everybody in there and their contact information. We'd have to take everyone's temperature so that if someone did test positive for COVID, we would have to contact everybody that had been in the facility that day.
Okay.
So right now we really don't have the resources to man that properly.
Okay.
But hopefully we'll be able to do that before too long.
But you do have a 3-on-3 league going. Is that because people have signed up and you know exactly who's playing?
That's correct.
Okay, gotcha. And then there was some discussion about doing an Audubon program. Is that still on tap for later this year or wintertime?
It is. We're still waiting for a response from them. Carrie is working with them. And I know that COVID has put a halt to a lot of things we're doing. I think they were willing to do something via Zoom. We would like to do something in person and Zoom. So we're trying to work with them to work out those logistics.
Okay. And teenagers, did you guys give any thought to doing that inside, or you just feel like it's more under control inside than outside the luncheon?
We're doing it in the gym,
In the gym.
gymnasium,
Yeah.
as opposed to typically we're doing the Magnolia Palmetto room, but the gym is bigger. We know we can comply with the with the distance that we have to have between them and
Oh,
the
okay.
square footage. So
The picnic, having it at the picnic tables would be a little too tight, I guess, then.
it
Yeah.
would be, it would
Okay.
be.
All
And
right.
it is
Well,
a box lunch, so it's not like a covered dish like we typically have. So
okay.
no one will be over the food, nobody will be serving the food. They'll have a
Mhm.
box lunch.
Well, we can talk a little bit more about all the adaptations, but it certainly seems like you guys are rolling with it. Um, if there's no more questions, we can move on to item 5, old business, discussion of outlook for classes and activities in the fall. Is there anything we haven't covered already?
I don't think there is. Last meeting, we attached the activity guide to the monthly report. Didn't do it this week because not much has changed there. I think the only thing that has really changed is the community wellness cholesterol screening, if you will.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, I think everything else is pretty much the same that was in that activity guide.
Okay, cool. And I'm glad to see that you're partnering with Delta on that,
Yes,
which I guess they are one of the ones that usually come to the health fair anyways, right? So that makes sense.
right. They provided the flu shots last year as well, and tetanus and pneumonia shots.
Okay, super.
Right.
All right. Then move on to 5B, which is discussion of COVID adaptations, which we have also touched on, but
We have, just so you know, we still get updates from MUSC twice a month. We went through the inspection and they
Mhm.
communicate with us to make sure we're still complying with the guidelines that we've been given. We still have the one way in the rec center, one way out of the rec center. We take temperatures of all of our employees every day. We record those as well as particularly our children's programs. Everyone's encouraged to wear a mask. We continue to social distance. The floors are marked in our exercise rooms to make sure that every person has a 10 by 10 foot space. And everybody brings their own equipment. They do not share equipment anymore. And our water fountains are still closed except for the bottle filler. So everyone has to bring their own water bottles. So, and of course, our cleaning and disinfectant schedule has changed quite significantly since COVID. So I think we're doing pretty well with complying with everything that Accelerate South Carolina has put forth to us, as well as CDC and of course MUSC Health and Wellness.
Norma Jean,
Yes.
so you had mentioned staff. Do you take the temperature of staff? Do you take
Yes.
temperature of every visitor and everybody that comes in the building?
We do not every visitor. We do the children particularly because they are closer and mingle more with each other. Most of the classes, they are separate. They are separated in their little squares. So they really don't come in contact with each other. But we have all their information so that if anyone were to test positive, we know exactly who's been in those classrooms every single day.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Councilmember Moy, do you have any questions?
Questions for me?
I have one question, which is about, according to Accelerate South Carolina, have they already established levels at which if we see a rise in cases that you would revert back to a more controlled situation, or is that already explained, or is it going to be something that we will see as we go along, or?
I'm not sure what what they say about that, but I can assure you if it does accelerate, if the numbers start rising, I'm sure that we'll do tighter parameters here at the
Okay.
rec center.
Okay.
Yeah, I can say for certain that we're paying very close attention to everything that the governor puts out, and we will be abiding by any additional restrictions that are enforced as an emergency order or something like that. So,
What
Which-
Ron said.
Yeah. I mean, I'm asking because we're heading into flu season and indoor season, and there's, I think some reasonable expectation that we might then also see an increase in COVID cases, but I guess
Maybe
we'll
not.
find out. So
Let's hope not.
let's hope not. Yeah. So, all Okay, that's about all that I've got. I know this was not a very complicated meeting, but we have a lot going on throughout the city right now, so it seemed like it was a good time to keep it simple. We'll go on to, we have no new business, and under miscellaneous business, our next meeting date is set for 5 p.m. November 2nd. Can we do that? Do you have adaptations that you'll be doing because of elections?
The elections are the next day. That shouldn't affect this meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. Set
should
up
be
or
okay.
anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I guess we're not meeting in person either, so. Okay. Any other miscellaneous business from anybody? Alrighty then, I think this is truly a record for us.
Okay.
Do I
Nice
hear a
job.
motion? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 All
Record
right.
at 5